Hello students, I am Dr. Tisha Vyas, Assistant Professor Biotechnology at Siusha Institute of Science. In today's lecture, we are going to study about the roles of United States promotion agencies in biotechnology and the government policies for biotechnology. These are the content of the following lecture. The first agency that comes under the US is the Agriculture Marketing Service, that is AMS. Basically, AMS is responsible for the management of different varieties of plant as well as the seeds which are derived from natural as well as the hybrid seeds, and also the other government activities which requires the general certification as well as the labeling of the agricultural seeds for variety of purposes. And it also offers certain laboratory testing services for genetically engineered food and fiber products and voluntary process verification services, which is used to ensure that segregation is done of the conventional as well as the genetically modified crops. The next one, that is the Agricultural Research Services, that is the ARS. Basically, ARS is the US Department of Agriculture, that is the USDA, and it involves its work in the field of the quality, safety, as well as the competitiveness of the seeds and improving the general characteristics, that is the traits of the livestock, crops, microorganisms, and research included in that field, as well as the safeguarding of the environment and assessing and enhancing the safety of biotechnology products. The next agency, that is the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services, that is APHIS. APHIS involves the work regarding the safe development of agriculture, biotechnology, as well as the animals and the field testing, as well as the genetically engineered organisms involved in those processes. It also involves certain engineered organisms that their transport is done safely and can be freely used in agriculture. The next one, that is the Economic Research Services, that is ERS. ERS is an agency which involves the research to be carried out on the economic aspects of the use of genetically engineered organisms. It also includes the rates as well as the reasons for the adoption of the biotechnology by the farmers. ERS can also be addressed as the economic issues related to the marketing of such genetically modified organisms, their labeling, as well as the trading, that is import and export of the biotechnology derived products. The next one, that is the Food Safety and Inspection Services, that is FSIS, is an agency under the US Department of Agriculture which is responsible for the supply of meat, poultry and egg products and in a safe manner, as well as it is correctly labeled and packaged, including animals involved in biotechnology. The next agency, that is the Foreign Agricultural Services, that is the FAS. FAS is involving work related to the acceptance of biotechnology, that is genetically modified plants, crops and seeds, which have been reviewed by the US government agencies, and this has been done to basically support the US farms, the exports and imports, and also to promote the global food security. It also known that the efforts are conducted by the government to government discussions between the exchange in multilateral organizations, overseas education and marketing programs. The next one, that is Forest Services, FS, that is FS conducts all the research and development on the forest resources which have been issued by the USDA. It basically involves a variety of products like the healthier trees, forest products, pest resistance, as well as the research being carried out on both the disease and the insects that affect the trees, wildlife and the fish. The next one, that is the Grain Inspection, Packers and Stockyards Administration, that is GIPSA. GIPSA provides inspection, the weighing and related services of the grains, pulses, oilseeds, and processed and graded commodities. It also involves the research going on behind the grains, pulses, and oilseeds. They also have the reference laboratories which assist the commercial laboratories. There are government and academic institutions which are evaluating the capability and reliability of their biotech testing programs. GIPSA is also involved in a voluntary process verification program that allows the suppliers to assure the customers about the quality of their products, as well as the services through independent audits of their manufacturing practices as well as the services. The next agency, that is the National Agricultural Statistics Services, that is NASS. NASS basically involves their work in finding out the statistics behind the agriculture, and it also provides a deep information on the usage of biotechnology crops. Biotechnology crops, basically like the corn, cotton, and soybeans, involves a huge statistics which have been carried out by this agency, and it also helps in tracking the usage of biotech crops since the year 2000. The next agency, that is the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, that is NIFA. NIFA, it provides an extra research, higher education and extension activities in the field of food and agriculture biotechnology, and in partnership with Agriculture Research Services as well as the Forest Services, NIFA, it administers the Biotechnology Risk Assessment Research Grant Program, that is the BRAG, which helps in supporting the development of certain science-based information regarding the safety, the precaution, as well as the usage of the genetically modified plants, animals, and microorganisms inside the environment. Now let us have a look at the different government policies for biotechnology in India as well as in Gujarat. Now in India, we can have a look that the biotechnology policies came into the action in the year 1980. At present, the country is also observing serious changes involved in the field of biotechnology. The rules for the manufacture, use, import, export, and storage of hazardous microorganisms or the genetically modified organisms or cells came under the year 1989 under the Environment Protection Act, and in the year 1986 EPA, that is the Environment Protection Act, was the pioneer legislation that is related to the agricultural biotechnology in India. The EPA, that is the Environmental Protection Act, in the year 1986, it modified certain rules in the year 1989 and which are still carried out under the action of the Biotech Regulatory Authority of India, that is BRAI, and it is carrying out its different mechanisms. Now let us have a look at the different development of India's biotech policy, and it can be categorized in three stages. The first one, that is the policy and the regulatory establishment during the year 1989 to the year 2002, when BT cotton was approved for commercialization. The next one, that is the policy development during the year 2003 to 2010, when the Ministry of Environment and Forest, that is MOEF, imposed a moratorium on BT brinjal. And the next one, that is the policy debates since 2010, during which BT brinjal and BRAI are under suspension. Now let us have a look at the biotechnology policy that is carried out in Gujarat. The Department of Biotechnology, that is DBT, the Government of India announced its first National Biotechnology Development Strategy in September 2007, and the implementation of this biotech strategy has provided an insight into the enormous opportunities in the field of agricultural biotechnology. It had a view of providing focused attention on the subject and addressing the global developments and their cascading effects, formulating of the biotechnology policy for the state of Gujarat, which became very much necessary. Therefore, after careful consideration, the government of Gujarat has decided to lay down the biotechnology policy of the state as follows. The first one, that is building up competencies of global scale in research, that is to carry out the research in a large scale manner. The second one, that is development and commercialization in biotechnology sectors. As you all know, different research and organisms are being isolated through the help of microbiology. So through using this, we can develop the biotechnology sector. The next one, that is capable of harnessing the true potential of the sector in a sustainable way to achieve the disease-free environment. The next one, that is nutritionally secure, prosperous society living in a safe and clean environment. These all are the main aspects of the biotechnology policy that comes under the Department of Biotechnology. The next, that is the main mission was to make Gujarat a preferred and globally competitive destination for the development of biotechnology products and services, which helps to promote the availability of quality and cost-efficient affordable biotechnologies, bioproducts and bioservices to the end users, that is to the last users. It also helps in generating the awareness and the support to popularization of the genetically modified products. There are certain biopharmaceuticals and bioservices which are used for the benefit of the society to identify, strengthen and harness the potential human resource for quality in education, research as well as the entrepreneurship. India's biotechnology regulatory government is relatively independent but is governed by the three ministries, as you can see over here. The first one, that is the Ministry of Science and Technology. The second one, that is the Ministry of Environment. Third one, that is the Forest and Climate Change, and the Ministry of Agriculture. These three are the main ministries which helps in the regulatory of the biotechnology governance. There are certain risk management institutions within or outside of these ministries which also helps in regulating the sector, and there are also several different bodies to manage the biotechnology sector in individual states of India. Some states in India are interested in accepting the benefits of biotechnology applications, while some other states are still cautious to use this new age technology. Thus, biotechnology policy and associated regulations differs with the states. As you can see over here, there are different ministries on the first level. After that, there is a committee which helps in the genetic engineering appraisal. After the appraisal, there comes the review committee and the monitoring evaluation, and the next one, that comes the applicant or the investigator of that genetically modified crops or products or plants, and the last one, that is the state governments are involved in assessing the products. Now let us have a look at the different strategies for developing the biotechnology policy in India. In the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, they have announced the National Biotechnology Development Strategy in the year 2007, and the implementation of this strategy has provided an insight on the enormous opportunities, as we saw earlier also. The current National Biotechnology Development Strategy that came in the year 2015 to 2020 of India aims to establish India as a world-class manufacturing hub of the bioproducts. It also tends to launch a major mission backed with significant investments for creation of new biotech products, also to create a strong infrastructure for the research and development as well as commercialization of the products, and it also helps in empowering the India's human resources, that is scientifically and technologically. The new strategy, it involves the building up of earlier strategy to accelerate the pace of growth of biotechnology sector with the help of the global requirements, and the research in all areas of basic and interdisciplinary science using the modern biotechnology would be supported by the Department of Biotechnology. It also provides emphasis on generation of certain genetically modified biotech products to enhance its efficiencies, its productivity, its safety and cost effectiveness of the agriculture. There are certain food and nutritional securities, the affordable health and wellness products, the environmental safeties, clean energy and biofuel and biomanufacturing. This all are the main goal and the aim of the modern biotechnology that is being carried out under the Department of Biotechnology. These are the mission of Department of Biotechnology. There are 5 missions which are important in through which the department works. That is the provide, launch, empower, create and establish. Provide is basically to provide enough knowledge and tools which are advantageous to the humanity. Launch, a major well-directed mission which is backed up with significant investment for the generation of new biotech products. Empower, scientifically as well as technologically India's incomparable human resources. Create is to create a strong infrastructure which is required for the research and development and as well as for the commercialization of the biotech products. Establish is for establishing India as a world-class biomanufacturing hub. Now, besides this, there are 10 guiding principles of the National Biotechnology Development Strategy, which came in action in the year 2015. They are as follows. The first one, that is to build a skilled workforce and leadership. The next, that is revitalizing the knowledge environment at par with the growing bioeconomy. Enhancing research opportunities in basic, disciplinary and interdisciplinary sciences. Encouraging use, that is inspired discovery researches. It also helps to focus on the new tools that are coming in the market. Besides this, it also helps in nurturing the innovations, the translation capacities, as well as the most important, that is entrepreneurship. It also ensures a transparent, efficient and globally best regulatory system and communication strategy for the biotechnology products. The Biotechnology Corporation, it helps in fostering global as well as national alliances, which keeps a look at the work which is being carried out in the different fields. It also helps in strengthening the institutional capacity with redesigned government models and also to create a matrix of measurements of the process as well as the outcome. This lecture covers 2 important major questions, that is, what is the role of US promotion agencies in biotechnology? The second one, that is, what are the strategies for developing biotechnology policy in India as well as in the Gujarat state? These are the references. Thank you students for attending the lecture. If you have any queries, you can mail me.